Okay, so the Tower of David Museum in Jerusalem.
It's really the new gateway to Jerusalem's old city, so you can explore the history of Jerusalem with us and the different stories of Jerusalem.
So you guys see that? This is a lily, and you see these markings down here? That is Yud, Hey, Dalet, but in ancient Hebrew. I'm going to show you something. This is today's shekel, the shekel coin. This is a coin from 2,500 years ago. You see the lily? And if you turn it around, you see that there are some markings here. Yud, Hey, Dalet, Yehud, Jew. The reason why I wanted to show you this in this museum is because in this world of fiction versus fact, this is fact. 2,500 years ago, Yehud, Jewish, they based this coin, this modern coin, on a coin from 2,500 years ago. It's incredible. So I want to show you guys something. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Sure. These are seals that date back to First Temple period. First Temple period, we're talking about 600 years BC. Each seal is engraved in ancient Hebrew. What were they used for? The Tower of David was the administrative center of Jerusalem. Clerks sat here. You had a contract. You wanted to get your house authorized. You come with the contract. They put their seal down. Here we're talking a seal. What the kinds of things we do till today,
2,600 years ago in Hebrew, which says what?
Which says a Jewish Israelite presence here, 2,600 years ago, with functioning administration.
Let's look at this again.
The red one was found right here at the Tower.
This is an amazing film which shows a few thousand years in a couple of minutes. This is the First Temple period. I mean, it's absolutely stunning, and they really use the archaeology and all of the animations and the storytelling blended beautifully together. It's really beautiful. You have a timeline of Jerusalem, and you can find out about like the Roman period, and you can just find out about this timeline. But what's also incredible is you can see what was going on in the rest of the world at any given period, which I think is amazing. So, you know, at this period, in the Second Temple period, as you can see up here, the Second Temple period, the Great Wall of China, ancient Greek philosophy was picking up.
We moved through the time period where that's again to lead out to the progress of Byzantine Jerusalem and Jerusalem.
So this is an incredible story. This is a letter written by David Ben-Gurion in 1948 during the War of Independence to a little boy who he knew his grandfather. And the little boy lived in Jerusalem, and he was scared. And he wrote to David Ben-Gurion, and he was saying, "We're in Jerusalem, we're scared, we have nothing to eat, what are you going to do?" So David Ben-Gurion, and take a look at this again. He wrote to this kid with punctuation, and he basically says to him, "We have trucks of food, and we're sending it to you. But not only that, you're also going to have cake." He took the time to write a letter to a little boy who was scared. That was leadership. I wish we had that type of leadership today.
We're in an exhibition room that looks at ancient Jerusalem during the Second Temple period. But actually we can see straight through to modern day Jerusalem, and we wanted to keep that conversation between modern Jerusalem and ancient Jerusalem alive all the time in the museum.
Now, of course, Jerusalem is not just a place for the Jewish people. It's also a sacred place for Christians and for Muslims. And that's why in this room is dedicated to the story of the Christian connection to Jerusalem. So in 638, the Muslims came and they conquered Jerusalem, and they built the Dome of the Rock, which basically is covering the stone where Imam was said to almost sacrificed his son. They built it around that at the time, not with animosity, but because it was holy, the Muslims built that. And in time, the whole narrative has been warped. A lot of Jewish people say that they built it on top and they were trying to, destroy the Jewish history. But actually it was because it was holy that they built something around it. So this whole room shows the Muslim influence.
These are arrowheads that come from 2,200 years ago that were found at the foot of the walls of Jerusalem as they were from the Hasmonean time period, so the time period of Hanukkah and the revolt. These are the arrowheads. We've even got arrowheads that have got initials of Greek letters written on.
So what I'm really struck by as I walk through the museum, it's about of course, the architecture, the history, but what they've done a remarkable job here with is representing all three major religions and taking you through each period with incredible attention to detail and stunning combination of using the actual walls and everything with art. It's really beautiful. I mean, look at this. This is amazing. There's a 150-year-old model of the city of Jerusalem. And the amazing thing about this model, this was 9 separate slabs that was made by someone who lived in Jerusalem, and they shipped it to Europe around 150 years ago so people could see Jerusalem, see this incredible model, and then it went missing. And 150 years later, it was rediscovered, and here it is today. And the incredible thing is, if you look at the city, look also outside the city, you see all these hills, right? You see that, there's the walls. Let's go outside right now. Look at what you see. How it's changed. You can see all those buildings and just residential area. It's incredible. It's just like a trip through, it's like a time machine. What you have here is literally you have 3 screens. What they do is they take you on a time trip through Jerusalem and they show you all the cultures, the history, the archaeology, the wars, the building, I mean everything. You have to come here. It's amazing. Just this is incredible. You can actually just like relive for kids what we like it. See?
I swear to you, you have to.
We need some 7-year-old kids here.
Over there, we're looking at those 2 gray domes. That's the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, where many, many Christians believe that Jesus was crucified and buried.
Okay, and over there, the tower over here?
It's the Lutheran Church, the Church of the Redeemer, built in 1898 by Kaiser Wilhelm.
And you have a dome here, but that's not a mosque, is it? That's a church.
No, that's a church. It's a small church, a small Orthodox church.
Okay, and then over there, of course,
the big golden dome is the Dome of the Rock, lying above the foundation stone, where, as Jews, we believe that the Holy Temple stood there.
And you have the Mount of Olives.
The Mount of Olives is the oldest Jewish cemetery in the world. It's also the most expensive, because when resurrection comes, when the Messiah comes, the first people to be resurrected will be those who are closest to Jerusalem.
This museum it's a state of the art, but it's so warm and inviting, and it's very Jerusalem. I don't know how to put it. Just thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming in. It was really, really our pleasure, and we love showing off.
When you come to Jerusalem, This is a must, and also for Israelis, so many Israelis as well. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.